So how important is it that we consume protein directly around our workouts in order to stimulate muscle growth? The best research I've seen in this is via Dr. Don Layman. He's really at the top of the line when it comes to protein research, so I would really get onto that and have a look at his research. It's done very, very cleverly. But what they're finding is that it's more important to consume protein post a workout, because essentially if you eat protein prior to a workout, workouts in themselves are just a catabolic thing. That's just what they are. You're breaking down tissue in order to make energy. And so basically consuming your protein after a workout tends to be more favorable when it comes to muscle protein synthesis. But how much does it matter exactly when you eat that protein, and what type of protein is best to consume post a workout to effectively stimulate muscle protein synthesis? So in a very eloquent study that looked at people's ability to stimulate muscle protein synthesis, whether or not they were untrained, so under 6 months worth of work, and trained athletes, so over 6 months worth of work, what they found is those that were considered untrained actually required their protein bolus to occur within the first 2 hours after doing their workout in order to stimulate the muscle protein synthesis. Whereas those who were considered trained athletes over 6 months worth of work required their protein bolus somewhere within the 24-hour mark, and they still were able to stimulate the same amount of muscle protein synthesis as the untrained athletes within 2 hours. So this is really interesting because it just goes to show that the longer we are training and doing a training program, the more primed we become, and it becomes less important for us to consume protein straight away and directly around our workouts. Very, very cool. So I think this is important to acknowledge, especially if you're somebody who understands the importance of time-restricted eating and having periods where you are not actually consuming food. So it allows you to continue the time-restricted eating schedule and possibly not be so concerned about making sure you eat protein exactly directly after your training session. But it is also very important to understand that in order to stimulate the muscle protein synthesis appropriately, we also need to consume certain amino acids, specifically leucine. We need to consume a certain amount of leucine to stimulate this. So how much? We need about 3 grams per meal, not per day, of leucine to stimulate muscle protein synthesis. And we will get that from around 300 grams of actual meat. You can also get it from around 30 grams of protein, but I think it's easier to sort of visualize it as meat itself. So certainly worthwhile keeping in mind as well.